A tale of the rich princess and the poor princess. In the heart of ancient Africa, two kingdoms stood side by side, separated by a river boundary. The kingdom of Zawura, blessed with riches and abundance, was ruled by the powerful and proud King Jahari. His daughter, Princess Nyala, was known throughout the lands as the epitome of grace and beauty, living a life of luxury within the grand stone walls of the royal palace. Across the boundary lay the kingdom of Caraval, a land where the earth was parched, and life was a constant struggle. The people of Caraval were resilient, surviving with what little the land could offer. The king, King Bakari, though not wealthy in gold or resources, was rich in wisdom and love for his people. His daughter, Princess Amani, grew up under the warm African sun, learning from her people the values of humility, hard work, and kindness. The two princesses, though born on the same day, lived lives as different as night and day. The birth of Princess Nyala in Zawura was an event of grand celebration. The kingdom erupted in jubilation with feasts, dancing, and gifts sent faraway lands. Musicians played melodies on golden harps, and the palace courtyard overflowed with flowers from the most exotic gardens in the world. King Jahari saw his daughter as the jewel of his kingdom, a symbol of Zawura's wealth and power. As Nyala grew, she was pampered by servants, adorned in the finest silks, and surrounded by every luxury imaginable. In contrast, the birth of Princess Amani in Caraval was a simpler affair, but no less meaningful. While there were no gold-laden banquets or foreign visitors, the people of Caraval gathered to sing songs of hope and joy, knowing that their new princess would one day bring light to their struggling kingdom. The dry lands of Caraval held little wealth, but they were rich in spirit, and King Bakari raised Amani to value her people, her culture, and the land itself. As the years passed, differences between Nyala and Amani became more apparent. Princess Nyala lived a life of privilege. She was educated by scholars, taught the art of diplomacy, and learned to appreciate the fine arts. Nyala was graceful and elegant, moving with regal bearing expected of a future queen. She wore gowns woven from the finest fabric, shimmering in golds and emeralds, and walked through the palace gardens where rare flowers bloomed in perfect symmetry. Despite a lavish life, Nyala often felt a longing for something more. She had everything she could ever ask for, yet the palace walls felt like a gilded gate. She longed to see the world beyond the boundaries of Zawura, to know more the life of opulence that had been led before her. Meanwhile, Princess Amani was being shaped by the struggles of Caraval. Amani spent her days walking alongside her people, learning to tend the dry soil, weave baskets from straw, and create beauty from what little they had. She was beloved by the people for her humility, kindness, and generosity. Amani's hands were rough from labor, but her spirit was strong and full of hope. She didn't wear jewelry or silk. Instead, she donned simple dresses made by village women adorned with handcrafted beads that held the stories of our ancestors. Amani had a deep connection to the earth, to the rhythms of nature, and to the struggles of her people. She knew that one day she would be called upon to lead her kingdom, not through wealth, but through wisdom and compassion. One fateful day, a terrible drought fell upon the kingdom of Caravan. The skies turned a merciless blue, and the once sparse river dried to trickle. The crops withered, and the animals grew thin. King Bakari's heart ached for his people, but there was little he could do. But the drought threatened to destroy them all. Desperate, King Bakari knew he had to seek help from his wealthy neighbor, King Yahari. He crossed the boundary into Saura with Princess Amani by his side, humbled by the towering palace and the opulence of the kingdom. As they arrived, they were greeted by the sight of Zawura's prosperity, a stark contrast to the struggling lands of Sarafa. King Yahari welcomed King Bakari with Amani with open arms, but when the matter of drought was raised, his tone became guarded. He was reluctant to share the kingdom's riches and resources, for Saura's wealth was a pride. He believed that helping Kavara might weaken his own kingdom. As the discussion unfolded, Princess Iyala, who had been watching from a distance, stepped forward. She saw the weariness in Princess Amani's eyes, and something in her stirred. Despite the wealth surrounding her, Iyala could see the strength and dignity that Amani carried, despite her kingdom's struggles. Father, Iyala spoke softly but firmly. What good is our wealth if we cannot use it to help those in need? A kingdom's strength is not only measured by its gold, but by its compassion. We should help Caravan. King Jahari was silent for a moment, considering his daughter's words. He had raised Nyala to be wise and discerning, and in her he saw the future of Zawura. With a nod, he agreed. Zawura's resources were shared with Caravan, and food, water, and supplies were sent to sustain them through the drought. As the aid flowed into Caravan, so did the bond between the two princesses, Iyala and Amani. Though born into vastly different worlds, found common ground in their shared values of leadership and compassion. Iyala, who had lived a life of luxury, admired Amani's resilience and strength. Amani, in turn, was inspired by Iyala's wisdom and her willingness to challenge the norms of her kingdom. Together, they devised a plan, a vision to unite their kingdoms, not only in times of need, but in times of prosperity as well. They dreamed of a future where Zawura's wealth could help Caravan grow, and Caravan's creativity and resilience could inspire Zawura people to appreciate the beauty of simplicity and hard work. As the years passed, Iyala and Amani's vision began to take shape. When they became queens of their respective kingdoms, they continued to work together, forging an alliance that would change the course of history. Queen Iyala of Zawura opened her kingdom's borders, allowing the people of Calabar to trade freely and share their knowledge of sustainable farming techniques. In return, Queen Amani of Calabar encouraged her people to embrace new technologies and innovations that will help their kingdom thrive. The once barren land of Calabar began to bloom with new life as crops flourished and the rivers flowed once more. Zahura too changed as the people began to appreciate the value of humility, hard work, and the importance of community. The bond between Yala and Amani became a symbol of hope for both kingdoms. Together, they proved that even the most different of worlds could come together in unity, creating something stronger and more beautiful than either could have achieved alone. Their story became a legend passed down through generations as a tale of friendship, compassion, and the power of two hearts united by a common purpose. The kingdoms of Zawura and Calabar, once divided by wealth and circumstance, were now bound together by a deeper understanding of what it meant to be truly prosperous. And so, the tale of rich princess and the poor princess lives on, not just in the hearts of their people, but in the land they had transformed. A land where sun set on two kingdoms, now one, glowing with the promise of a brighter future. Years after their reigns have ended, the story of Queen Iyala and Queen Amani continued to inspire new generations. The boundary between Zawura and Calabar had long since faded, replaced by thriving communities that embodied the best of both kingdoms. In the place where both princesses had once met, a grand monument was built, a statue of Iyala and Amani standing side by side, holding hands with an inscription that read, "United in hearts, they found the true wealth of the nation." The legacy of the two princesses lives on in every field that bloomed, in every village that prospered, in every heart that remembered the story of the rich princess and the poor princess, who showed the world that the greatest riches come not from gold, but from friendship, companion, and unity. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more inspiring stories. Thank you.